There we go. Perfect. So I pulled up every mythical Pokemon because mythology, Pokemon, they work quite well. The question always states, what the heck makes a Pokemon mythical? And typically it's because of the fact that there is only one in the entire game or series or whatnot. Like, with legendaries, you see the Moltres and Zapdos, Articuno, right? When you play, like, what is it? Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, you can catch multiples of those. But with the mythicals, there's only ever one. So, plus they're also all surrounded by the mythology in the world. So, we're going to determine and go through this tier list of which mythical Pokemon is the best. So I will say as well, most of these Pokemon do have, here I'll show, like Mew, for instance. We go to Pokemon database and look at stats, it's all 100. Most of the time, so if I even look at Celebi, right? Oh, if it goes, Celebi, 100s across the board. That's the case for almost all of these mythical Pokemon. The only exceptions being like Deoxys. So if I go Deoxys Speed, for instance. Like, here we go. See, it's 600 again. And typically it's, supposed to be 100s across the board, but Deoxys is the interesting one because it's, all the different types of forms have the stat distributions that equate to 600. So starting off the list is Mew. Mew is absolutely one of my favorites. I firmly believe that it's because people tried to experiment on Mew to recreate it, that's why we have Ditto. But of course, don't know if that's true or not. And either way, I'm going to put, like, if we go back to Mew. Here we go. Mew, Synchronize. It's a decent ability. Passes Burn, Poison, or Paralysis to any foe. That is so good. Bloodius, how you doing today? Hope you're having a good day. Glad to see that you're here. Arceus is definitely similar. I mean, being God, right? So, but it is a psychic type. Psychic type being the one of the strongest in the entire series. My only issue is that it learns Psychic at level 100. Caveat to that is that it can learn literally every move in the entire game. So it can be used for anything and everything that you want. So in my opinion, Mew goes an S. Solid. Easy. Next up, we got Celebi. Celebi, again, a psychic type with the 600. The only issue is that it's also a grass type. This holds it back because of the fact that it has a 4 times weakness to bug. Why? It gets hit by one Fury Cutter, dead. As well, it can't learn every single move, unlike Mew. And then for some weird reason learns Perish Song. Don't forget Fire Blast. Yep, Fire Blast is always a good move. The exception to this, though, is the fact that with Celebi, you get an entire scene that goes with it. So yeah, the scene that goes with Celebi talks about the like the myth and the legend behind the behind it, which is really cool because there's like there's not many in the entirety of the mythical Pokemons or in the mythical Pokemon group that have that. There's so few. So, in my opinion, I'm gonna say Celebi goes into A. It's like it is a close S, but I think A only because of the fact that it's, grass type and it doesn't have the like quality that Mew does. But again, that's my opinion. Next up we got Jirachi, and to be honest, Jirachi is my favorite of all the mythical Pokemon. Because one, this is a fantastic typing. Steel and Psychic. It's the Wish Pokemon. Its entire like entry is based around its myth, its mythology, because the little tags that it has here, those are wishing tags that in Japanese folklore you would hang up, and it acts as not only a like protection, but it also acts as like putting up, wishes. And he's the wishing Pokemon. He has a cape too? Come on. There's a little star boy. Serene Grace, likelihood of added effects appearing, which means it's really good with special attacks. So if it's going to cause a flinch, paralyze, sleep, whatever, it means it's so good to do, or so good to use. Learns quite a few moves, but prayer charms. Thank you. That's what they were called. I was trying to figure out the entire thing on them. I don't want to buy them. No. Hold on. Is this the one? No. Another case. Jirachi is personal favorite. So, I'm putting it in S. Not above Mew, because Mew is the top tier. Top tier Pokemon that can learn literally everything. It's good at everything it does. So it nothing can top it, but everything else can get close to it. So Jirachi is that close second. And also because it's my personal favorite. Next up, we have our 4 Deoxys forms. So we looked up. Did we? No, we didn't. Well, we did, but it's gone now. Deoxys. So, Deoxys, the DNA Pokemon, Pressure. I'm not a big fan of the Pressure ability because it's just, oh, cool. Instead of using 1 of the power, it's using 2 now. How does that help? That doesn't. The cool thing about Deoxys is the fact that it has a storyline in Pokemon, what was it? Omega Sapphire, or no, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, sorry. And like it's it's literally an alien. That's why it looks this way, which is so cool. The stat distribution for it is interesting, to say the least. Like, for instance, so for normal form, Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a bit congested. Yeah, I've been having to deal with congestion for the past 2 days, so apologize about that. My one of my gripes with Deoxys is the fact that if we look at its stat totals for its base form, 50 in HP, 50 in defense, 50 in special defense, and then in its attacking and speed, it's 150. So when I go to, oh, rough for you as well, man. I talked with some people at work, and everyone seemed to be having a rough time yesterday. Like, even my wife was having a rough time. So I think it was just rough for everybody. But for defense form Deoxys, it still has 50. Its defense and special defense is now 160 in each. But I feel like all of this should have been reversed or flipped for defense because it's a defense Pokemon. I don't know. Attack form, it's a glass cannon. And then speed form. Speed form is literally its best form. One, because there's nothing faster than it. So it's always going to attack first. You never need to put priority onto this Pokemon. Oh, yeah. The rain can set people off. It didn't rain here where I am, but it definitely rained Thursday on Halloween. So that wasn't helpful, of course. But Deoxys speed, I feel like of the forms, speed is the best of all of them. All of the skills that it learns Psychic at level 31, which is insanity to me. Because, like, normal Pokemon don't learn that, but it is a mythical, so. Oh, no, yeah, it gets different, learns different attacks and different forms. However, the good thing about it as well is that it learns a lot of different TMs. So, plus I do like it shiny. The yellow form of it. It is quite nice. So, for each of these, I'm putting speed in A. Defense, I'm going to put in C. Normal in B, because the stat distribution, fine. The Pokemon itself, fine. And then attack, a C again. Again, because it's not going to live through anything. All right. Our next ones are going to be Manaphy and Phione, which I think the first time I had ever actually gotten these Pokemon was in Legends Arceus. And I had to figure it out through a YouTube video, which was hilarious to me. But you get little special eggs, and they come from it comes from what? Pokemon Ranger, I think. Here we go. Manaphy. It's a water type, which I don't remember if he's a water type or if he's like water fighting. I know that Volcanion here is water fire. But again, as well, he's the only mythical that can breed, who then, breeds out to be Phione. Learns hydration, heals status problem if it's raining, so you gotta have rain with them. And I like the abilities that actually help the Pokemon, and not just like, it's there. Again, being a mythical, learns a decent amount of TMs. I'm not a big fan of the shiny though. Turns from this like nice solid blue into this like more green teal. I don't know what color you would call that, but I'm not a big fan of it. But it's a really nice looking Pokemon. It has a, I believe it was in Legends Arceus. You have to go into this like hidden cave during a, what was it? The thunderstorm. And then when you went into the cave was Manaphy, and then you had to defeat the Fionis that were around it and fight. And it played into the mythology of it, which was awesome. It was really cool. And then there's Fione, which we bring that one. Again, it's technically a baby Pokemon because it is, bred that way. And it has less stats than what a Manaphy would have. But it's still really cool. So, given the mythology, given the history, given the hey, nice World of RuneScape Alpha. That's it almost sounds like it's a combination of World of Warcraft and RuneScape, which oh boy. That's all right. That's a handful right there. Oh geez. I'll have to check that out at some point. But I think for Manaphy and Fione, I'm gonna put them both in B. Just solid Pokemon types. Next we've got Darkrai. Darkrai I'm excited for. Because I use Darkrai in Pokemon Go a lot. Because I have one that is for if I need to use like dark type moves against Pokemon in raids. And then I have another one that's for the what is it? I'm blanking. For PvP. And it has a really interesting ability. Bad Dreams reduces a sleeping foe's HP. Which, one, I have never known how that actually works with this. So, who knows? But again, 600 base stat total, and its distribution for its stats are really solid. Good speed, solid special attack. Then it also has immunity to Psychic, which means it counters other mythicals, which is amazing. Learns good moves. Never a big fan of just like, oh yeah, you get to level 100 and you learn this move. Project Ascension Tales, Rebuilding Risk Game. Interesting. That does sound dope. I always love seeing developers like work on other projects and like integrating things that they, helped build into new projects, which is fantastic. I think the good thing as well with Darkrai is that it learns a lot of special moves and a lot of support moves as well. The only gripe that I have is it's shiny. Is that it's this weird purple. It's almost on par for me for like Gengar, right? Like what I would prefer is this red here to switch with this white. I don't mind the black keeping there. Or the like black part of its body. Like if the red and the white switched, I think that would be pretty cool. But there's even a storyline that goes with it. So you're, what was it, in Diamond and Pearl, or in Platinum, or well, I can't remember which game it actually came from. But if you went into this house and then you slept in this like random house in this town, you would wake up in the land that Darkrai is in to catch him, which is so cool to me. Like if you're gonna integrate a mythical Pokemon into, the game that way, that's one of the best ways to do it. So in my opinion, I'm gonna put Darkrai at A and at the top of A. They're very lucky I got at the Alpha Day 1. Dude, that's awesome. I don't think I've ever gotten into an alpha before. I've done betas before for beta testing. Um, Pink reviews of 82. Woo! Dude, that sounds nuts. Dude, I'm so proud of you. Like, good for you. Get those viewers. Get that stream going. I think it will. Don't doubt. It can happen again. All right. Next up, we got Shaman. Again, another Pokemon, a lot like Fiona here, where the first time I actually caught them was in Legends Arceus, and then again when the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl came out. Shaman's so good. And the thing I also like about Shaman is the fact that it has, like, it's a lot like Deoxys as well with its forms. But hey, I mean, if you're streaming on YouTube, that's still good. Like, if you're getting 2,000 views on a stream on YouTube, that's solid. You don't even need to worry. Like, Shaman, again, has that 600, just like all of them. Has a grass type. So it's a, kind of the opposite. I know, a little hedgehog. I love Shaman's form. It's so adorable. Has ability natural cure. All status problems heals when switched out, which, all right, that's not bad. If we look at Sky form, grass and flying, which, yeah, there it is. I was like, it has a 4x weakness to ice, which, now that there are priority ice type moves, that can be pretty hazardous. But it does make it weak to ground, or immune to ground, which I don't think it would never actually had an issue with ground type, but it does help with that switch in. So let's look at the Sky form, or let's look at land form first, and then gets Seed Flare at level 100, just like the rest of the mythicals. And then it's shiny. Dude, its shiny is so good. I love it. I love this aquamarine color for it. It maintains everything else, but just gets its fur recolored. Oh, I love it so much. And then Sky form learns Leaf Storm, I think. Yeah. Leaf Storm, which is... Thank you. And then Air Slash, which, again, that's a solid move. So, I think for Shaman, I think for the original, I'm going to put an A. And Skyform, I'm going to put an A as well, because it's still really good. All right. Now we got the big guy. Big man on campus. Arceus. Now, I pronounce it Arceus, but I know other people pronounce it as Arceus. So I don't know which one is correct in reality. If we had actual voice acting in Pokemon, we would know officially. Okay. But it's just saying Arceus. Okay. Good thing about Arceus. Good thing about it is its stats are way better than everything, just naturally, with 720. Which I'm always a big fan of. It's like when I played through Legends, once I got Arceus, it was just, I didn't use anything else. It was, what was it? When they updated the game and you could do that like battle royale or like the battle tower thing, I used Arceus and I just swept through the entire thing. And I didn't even realize that you're not supposed to do that. but multi-type can change depending on its held plate, which, oh, that's so cool. I love that. And the fact that the plates that are used to change its type also help other Pokemon. So if you're holding the Psychic plate, it helps boost Psychic moves, which is really cool. And it learns Judgment level 100. Just a move that absolutely demolishes everything in sight. Again, Psychic moves like normal, good amount of TMs, and then we get to the shiny. It's solid gold. So cool. And it's literally God. The Golden God. The Golden Goose S. Like, so good. So happy I have one in Pokemon Home. But next we have Victini. And Victini is a Pokemon I've never actually caught in an actual mainline Pokemon game. I've caught one, I think mine's from Pokemon Go? Or is it Ultra Center? I don't remember actually, because I have a full living dex in my Pokemon Home, and I don't remember where I caught the Victini from, or if I got it traded. But for Victini, Psychic and Fire is a really good typing. Weaknesses, pretty normal, but it can learn Psychic and Flamethrower, which, that's a powerhouse combo right there. Wombo combo, if you will. Victory Star boosts the accuracy of its allies and itself, so meaning that it should be used in double battles. What would be an event? Yeah, there was an event, I think it was Black and White 2 or Black and White. Yeah. Because you could go into like this destroyed house or whatnot, and it would be there. If I remember correctly, you could technically use the code and shiny hunt it with that event. But moveset, so good. Overheat at level 97. It's such a weird level for it. Stored power, I hate the move Final Gambit, but thankfully no one ever uses it. Good amount of TMs. Also has tutor moves, transfer moves, V-Create. And then its shiny. Oh, its shiny is so good! With the all white and the stark red and blue. Dude, it's so cool. I flippin' love it. Victini, another S. Now, you go behind Arceus. There we go. Next up, we got Caldeo. At least I think that's right. Yeah, Caldeo. Another water type, but with the added fighting type. And then it has a resolute form with same stat, or the same typing. Different stat distribution though. Or does it? No, it doesn't. It has the same stat distribution. Same ability type as well. Raised attack when hit by a dark type move, which my guess is that it's for Sucker Punch. So if you know that a Pokemon is going to be using Sucker Punch, then this would work. This might also work in a doubles battle. So if you're using an attacking move with Caldeo, and your partner Pokemon uses Sucker Punch on Caldeo, since he's a fighting type, Dark type only does half damage. It's going to go first, meaning his attack is now going to hit even harder. So the only issue with this is the fact that it raises attack and not special attack. And its attack is 72 while its special attack is 129. Why wouldn't it be special attack? Or why wouldn't you switch them so that its resolute form goes with its physical typing? I don't know. But the mythology behind it is pretty cool. Nice lurk. All right, man. I hope you have fun. I will still be here talking about Pokemon and Mythicals. Um, but its mythology is based around the unicorn, which is this super ethereal, fantastical European horse. And a lot of times, unicorns were, you know, believed to have come from what we now know as narwhals or rhinoceroses. There's the Karkadan, right? That is a mythological rhino, and being that so many people talked to each other and shared stories during antiquity, you would get the the unicorn, with the horses being native to Eastern Europe. That's where they come from. But learns, and here's my. All right, let's look at ordinary form. Does it? No. So they learn physical type moves: close combat, sacred sword, takedown, aqua tail, double kick, aqua jet. It's meant to be a physical type, but it gets special attack in its main set, and I hate that. I always hate that. It's the same thing that for Lucario. Lucario is a special attacker, but it gets physical attacks, which means that you have to switch out its entire moveset, which I don't like. That said, its shiny is really cool, though. Does keep the blue, red, and yellow, or the tan, but its blue, but its lighter blue colors turn to green, which super noticeable. So for both of these guys, I'm unfortunately gonna have to put them in C, because they're just not like what. Where would you use them? They're cool to have. I have both in my Pokemon home, so that's cool. I'm sorry, I rant sometimes. But next we got Meloetta. I just saw that they had, or not just saw, I saw it last week, that if you complete the living dex of all of Scarlet and Violet, you can get a shiny Meloetta. I found out that even though I have a full living dex in my Pokemon home, it does not count because I have to catch and transfer the Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet to home, which means I have to do it all over again. So, I don't know. Maybe it's worth it later down the line, or I'll just like every week transfer, like catch and transfer 50 Pokemon. Either way. Meloetta being the singing Pokemon, the melody Pokemon. Again, Serene Grace, solid ability, has that 600. It's one of the only that has the 100 HP, because you see others that have, the differing stat distributions like Caldeo, they don't have 100 HP. But plays into its specialty, special attack, special defense. And then it even has a pirouette form, which it then switches its special attack, special defense into attack. Perfect. Thank you. And what's really cool as well is that it's a normal psychic in air form, or in aria form, and then in pirouette, it's a normal fighting. What? Like, they actually put thought behind this. And I love that its hair is are musical bars, and you see the notes that are on it. It's so cool. Has an immunity to ghost in this one, or in both actually. Has a pretty diverse moveset. Pirouette, aria, again, even in the different games. And then it's shiny, getting that nice teal blue for its hair. I if you're gonna do a shiny subtle or subtlety with shinies, this is the way to do it. Um, my only gripe is that how is this Pokemon a mythical? What makes it a mythical Pokemon? I don't know. It's like it's a pop star. It's Taylor Swift. It's Tay Tay. So, because of the fact that it's sitting here just being the pop star Pokemon, I don't think it naturally fits with these other Pokemon. Because Mew, Mew's the OG, the original mythical. And then you have Jirachi, which is based around Japanese folklore or like, East Asian folklore, because even the Thailand has these. Even in Thailand. Sorry, I said the Thailand. You have Arceus, literally God. So for both of these, I'm gonna actually put the Aria form in D and the Pirouette form in C. Strictly because the Pirouette form is cooler, in my opinion. Next up, we have Genesect. Genesect is a really interesting Pokemon because of the fact that it's someone decided, hey, there's this really cool like ancient bug that existed thousands upon thousands, if not millions of years ago, along with like the other dinosaurs in the game. You know what make this thing really cool? If it has a flippin' laser beam attached to its frickin' head. Dr. Evil right here. Like, look at this. That's so cool. And it can transform. It transforms, dude. Has download, just power according to foes' defenses, along with the fact that it has different charges at its back. Meaning that you can change its attacking move, or the type of attack. What's also really cool about this is that it's a bug and steel type, meaning it's only weak to fire. Now, of course, fire is one of the most common types in the entire game, and a lot of different Pokemon can learn fire type moves. So, yeah, it's going to get hit hard. That being said, its stats do really well for it. So you can put points into special defense or defense to help with that. It's immune to poison as well. That's so good. And the coolest thing about it is that it learns self-destruct. Why? Who knows? It's ridiculous to me. Earns Bug Buzz, X Scissor, because both its attack and special attack are equal. So you can play to both if you want to. Again, here we go. Flamethrower, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Thunderbolt, Thunder, Psychic, Leech Life. Like, it can learn everything. Try Attack. And then it's shiny being completely red. Ugh, I flippin' love this. It's one of my all-time favorites. So for Genesect, that's an S. Unfortunately, it would be. So it's an A. Why? Because of the fact that it is just a fossil type Pokemon. It doesn't have that mythology that sits with it that these four have. Like, Darkrai is the closest, Celebi is the next closest, but Genesect here, it's just missing that mythology factor that goes with it, or that actual mythical factor. Next up, we have Diancie. Diancie regular and mega. Diancie, one of the Pokemon that I think I've only caught in Pokemon Go. That's the only time I've ever caught it. Again, has that 600. Stat distribution is Very interesting. Has that 50 speed, which fits to the rock typing, but it has super high defenses. And then even if you do Mega, 700, way higher speed, and then just low health. My wish is the fact that the HP and the speed were switched. That it had a 50 speed and then 110 HP. Why? So it could rival against Snorlax. Because if you're gonna have a rock type, rock types are typically really slow. However, does have solid attack, solid special defense. The only issue is that it is 4 times weak to steel, which one bullet punch is going to take it out. And of course, Mega is coming back, thankfully. It's just not really used. It's used in 3 games. But I don't know if we're going to see it again. Has Magic Bounce, reflects status changing moves, which that's cool. So if it gets paralyzed, just bounces right back. Clear Body, prevents other Pokemon from lowering its stats. So cool. So all of its stats stay the same, which, excellent. So good. Learns Stone Edge at level 84, Moonblast. Yeah, so it maintains everything there. It's a solid Pokemon. And then when you look at it shiny, just gets the, like, redder shirt. Which, that's fine. I wish the rock part of its body turned to, like, copper or something. But beggars can't be choosers. I do love its design. It's like a princess type thing, which is really cool. I actually kind of like it. So I'm gonna put them in B. Next up, we got Hoopa. And if you're a fan of Pokemon ROM hacks, there is a ROM hack called Pokemon Unbound, which focuses nearly entirely on Hoopa and how powerful it can be. I mean, it's so powerful they even made a movie about it, which is really cool. But Hoopa is a Psychic and Ghost type, which isn't the best typing, unfortunately, because it's 4 times weak to Ghost and 4 times weak to Dark. However, it is immune to fighting and normal types. Sure, that's fine. Its stats are perfectly fine. Super high special attack. And then we look at Hoopa Unbound. It's fine. It gets the Dark typing this time, which is pretty nice, and becomes immune to psychic moves, has no halvesies on anything, doesn't take reduced damage from anything, and it takes 4 times damage from Bug. Weird, right? Special attack goes up to 170, which is monstrous. So obviously it's, the much better between the two. And it even plays into its mythology, which is being a djinn. If you're not aware, djinns are creatures from Arabic and Islamic folklore that they're the ones who grant the wishes, you genies, right? But djinns are not friendly, and there are multiple types. You have some that are in the underworld who surround themselves in hellfire, the Ifrits, right? Or you might have seen from Final Fantasy the Ifrit summon. So they're not meant to be nice creatures. And the hoops that it has are meant to be hoops, or the hoop earrings that they would typically have. For both Confined and Unbound, they learned Hyperspace Hole and Hyperspace Fury, which both are super powerful attacking moves. Again, learns just like with the other mythical Pokemon, learns a lot of different TMs, which is always good. And then its shiny is solid gold, which actually fits really well into how so many people, when they get a genie, they'll wish for riches beyond their wildest dreams, In the movie Aladdin, he wished to become a prince with, thousands and thousands of gold pieces that he can toss to people whenever he wants to. So it's such a cool Pokemon. Plays into the mythology, plays into that mythical Pokemon type, so much so that even a ROM hack was made around it. So where's it gonna go? Obviously an S tier, and its Unbound form is gonna go a little bit ahead of it because of the fact that it does do better in its Unbound form. Next up, we have Volcanion. Volcanion is one of the weirdest, and this is the Pokemon I have never personally caught. I have it in my Pokemon home strictly because of the fact that somebody who I play Pokemon Go with pretty regularly back when I lived in Florida, she was just like, oh, I have an extra Volcanion. Do you need it? I'm like, yes, please. So that's the only way that I have Volcanion. The really cool thing about it is the fact that it's a fire and water type. I think it's literally the only fire and water type in the entire series, which I feel like there should be more. Like, come on. I'm really hoping that in the new Legends game that they're bringing in a new fire and water type, because I think that typing is so cool. I mean, look at this. It's weak to electric, rock, and ground. Like, you're not going to see a lot of rock type moves. The ground type move you're going to see pretty often is Earthquake. Electric, Thunderbolt. Like, thankfully, it does have the Water Absorb move, so it becomes immune to water moves. Restores HP if hit by water type move. So, I love it. The design is super cool. It looks like biomechanical in nature, and being the steam Pokemon, that's, kind of fitting for it. Again, that's 600's base stat total, defense, special attack. You can clearly see what this Pokemon is designed for. And it almost looks like a dinosaur as well. And even its moves. Overheat. For some weird reason, Explosion. Again. Flare Blitz. Hydro Pump. Scald. Scald is like its prime move. Water type move that can burn another Pokemon. Decent amount of TMs that it can move. And... And here is my issue with this, is a lot of mythical Pokemon get this shiny form that is gold. Because you have Hoopa that does it. You have Arceus that has the gold with it. For those two, it makes sense. It doesn't make sense here, however. But I don't know what other colors it would be, and I think that kind of shows that I'm not the only one here that thinks that way, because looking at how it is, its claws and beard become pink. Why? So I think it was just, let's just make it gold for its shiny. So my big issue as well with this is that it does fit into that mythical Pokemon styling. There's only one of it. Just like there's only one Mew or, one Celebi, one Victini, right? A big issue is that it's supposed to be a mechanical volcano. So I think this one is going to have to go in D. And I think it's going to have to go at the front of D. Because it's just... It's not great. Not great in the mythical typing. Next up, we have Magearna. Magearna is pretty interesting. There we go. Magearna, a steel and fairy typing, and its design is so cool. It's like, oh, who's that? If you've ever seen the Jetsons, and there's the robot that goes with it, this is who I think of. Or the Jetsons robot who's the maid. I always think of Magearna for some weird reason. But it's the artificial Pokemon. Learns or has the ability Soul Heart, raises special attack when another Pokemon faints. That's really cool. That's really useful. And especially with the fact that its special attack is 130, means that it's a snowballing Pokemon. Like if you're going to have an ability, have the ability that helps the Pokemon or makes it even stronger. And the great thing as well with it being a steel and fairy type is look at these defenses. It's weak to fire and ground. And that's it. Immune to dragons, immune to poison. Oh my god. Give me one moment. Oh. Okay, back. Sorry about that. And what's really cool about this is the fact that it's steel typing means that it has a slow speed. They've done right by this. And then it has a very diverse set of moves. Fleur Cannon, Zap Cannon, Pain Split, Flash Cannon, Aurora Sphere, like all it's was it 1, 2, 3. 3 physical type moves that it can learn through level up. Which this Pokemon plays into what it is so well. I don't believe it actually has a shiny. One moment, the wife just texted. All right. But you'll notice that there are 2. And it's the Magearna that is the Pokeball typing. Here, let me show you. Let me see. Here we go. So here's the, what do they call it? The original color? Yeah, the original color Magearna. Which, that's so cool. And this coloring is what I consider to be the shiny, I'm using quotations here, shiny, of Magearna. And it looks like a Pokeball. That's so cool. I flippin' love it. And it's a reward for completing the living Pokemon, or the living dex in Pokemon Home. So, love it. Love that it's a reward. And I'm actually going to put these in A tier because they are like super well done Pokemon. And the only difference between these two is that this is technically the shiny form and this is the regular form. So next up we have Marshadow. I've just texted again. Sorry. Oh. Oh, let me... Alright. So we have Marshadow coming up next. Marshadow. There we go. And Marshadow is one of the mythical Pokemon who I've caught multiple times. And there was a special event for the Pokemon movie that featured Marshadow. And I got it from there as well. But look at this little guy. He's adorable. And he kind of looks like an Oni. Kind of. But like more so, you know, a dark spirit. Is a fighting and ghost type, which is a very interesting typing. Gets the Technician, which means powers up weaker moves. So anything that is below 60 base power means that if it's, let's say like Quick Attack. Quick Attack is, I think, 35 or 40 damage. It'll move that up to like 60. But it's immune to normal and fighting types. It's a clearly physical speedster, which, if I remember correctly, yep, it plays into fully, super fully, close combat, endeavor, spectral thief, drain punch, sucker punch, force pulp, shadow punch. Like, it's all physical. There is not a singular special move here. Learns a lot of different types. And I'm ashamed that it doesn't show the shiny here, because the shiny looks so cool. Let me see if I can pull up the shiny. Hold on. Just so you can see what I'm talking about. Oh, sorry, Marshadow shiny. Here we go. So it's this like blue coloring. And when it attacks, it changes the color. Which is so cool. I flippin' love it. And he's like a little shadow, a ghost Pokemon. It's great. If you think of the shadows from Kingdom Hearts, right? So for these guys, I'm gonna put them into A. You know what? No. I'm gonna put them in S. Put them right under Hoopa, because plays into that ghost, he's that fighting, vengeful spirit ghost, which is so cool. Next up, we have Zeraora. If I remember correctly, he is the mythical Pokemon for Pokemon Gen 7. I think is what that Gen 7 or generation is Sun and Moon, or Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Pure electric type. It's immune to electric because of the fact that it gets Volt Absorb. And it's weak to ground. Solid. And yet, once again, he is a speedster, which is super cool. The good thing about it is his attack and special attack are so close that depending upon the IVs that you get for him, he can become a special attacker. And if we look at his moveset, you can see he does have some special attack moves, which really works well for him. And he has primarily physical moves. Again, decent. And then its shiny is entirely white. Ugh, so cool. He's a big ol' electric cat. Which, what's not to love? He's the Thunderclap Pokemon. Come on, that's cool. And I kind of put him in the same sort of vibe that I have Genesect. So again, just like Magearna, the Pokemon Company really outdid themselves with this one. Next, we have probably the weirdest and most unknown Pokemon, because of the fact that its generation that it sits in is literally labeled as unknown, because no one knows where the heck this thing comes from. It's Meltan. It's the only Pokemon or the only mythical Pokemon that evolves. And it can only evolve in Pokemon Go, which really odd. The Hex Nut Pokemon is just a little like ferrofluid creature, which is super cool. And if we look at Melmetal, it plays into the steel typing super well, and he is a brawler through and through. Super slow, super high attack, health, defense, and then he's weak to fire, fighting, ground. Because of the fact that he is a pure steel type. Iron Fist, boosts the power of punching moves. So you would expect, if we scroll down, Thunder Punch, Dynamic Punch, Mega Punch. I believe he learns, Ice Punch. I believe Brick Break falls into that as well. So he learns moves that fit his playstyle. Moves that you would absolutely use on him. Double Iron Bash, I believe, is also something that gets powered up by Iron Fist. I don't think they have a shiny, unfortunately. No, they do. That's right. Metal shiny. That's right. And unfortunately, it's shiny. There we go. Yeah. Naturally yellow turns into copper. Come on, man. You could have done so much better. It's literally the ferrofluid Pokemon. You could turn its body into black, turn the Hex Bolts into silver, so it fits into this. So I think they really fell short with the shiny, but it is an extremely unique Pokemon, and it plays well. My only gripe is the fact that I don't think it should be a mythical typing. I think it should be in legendary. So, and as well, it did get a Gigantamax form, which, cool. Fine. Not needed. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to put these guys into D tier. They are good Pokemon. Their play styles play super well because of the fact that, you know, it is a steel type. It has the steel type stat distribution, and it has the moves that, you know, help it be a brawler. But it's not a mythical. I have literally countless numbers of Meltans and Melmetals. I have the shiny forms of them. I have a Gigantamax form of it. Like, do you want me to know? You want to know how many Celebes I have? I have 2. One's the regular and one's the shiny. How many Deoxys do I have? Literally 1. Manaphy, 1. Dancy, 1. Caldeo, 1. You get the idea here. But our next one is going to be Zarude. Prepare the sandstorm, everyone. And we've got the Rogue Monkey Pokemon, which is... I like that. I love that. And it's a dark and grass type, which is a super unique typing. You don't often get to see that. The only issue with that is the fact that it's very weak to everything. Fire, ice, fighting, poison, fairy. 4 times weak to bug. Weak to flying. It gets hit once by something and it's gonna die super quickly. So, you know, you get hit by a high roll Fury Cutter, it's dead. But it's, again, a physical type. We can see that here clearly. Special attack is lowered, so we should expect primarily physical moves, which is fantastic. Jungle healing, which means that it's just going to heal from its from being attacked. And it's an interesting Pokemon. I would say this is more a mythical Pokemon than I would say for Meltan, Melmetal, and Gigantamax. And you'll notice that there's a Zarude here with the pink scarf. Just a moment. I think the music stopped. Nope. Oh. There we go. This because the Zarude with the pink scarf actually comes from the movie that Zarude was featured in, which actually is a really good movie, and I would very much recommend watching. I don't remember the name of the movie, unfortunately, but I shed a tear, I will say. And here's my gripe with it, is again, what I said about Melmetal, Meltan is that, like, I have, dozens of them, including the shiny forms. In the movie, for Zarude, there's an entire society of Zarude. And it's playing on, the entire movie is playing off of the Tarzan type story. Where, young person or a young boy is raised by apes. And he's a monkey, sure, but still into that same type. So it's not going to go into the same level that Meltan or Melmetal is, because of the fact that I think it's better done than those. So it's going to go into C tier. Because, for instance, you want to know how many Zarudes I have? 1. I was only able to get it from Pokemon Go, and I think you could only catch 1 during the event. Finally, we have Pecharunt. And Pecharunt, and this is another that is the case where I feel like it should not be a mythical. Now, yes, it does play into the mythical typing. How many do I have? How many is available? Literally 1. And it's only available after all of the entire DLC for Scarlet and Violet. And even still, it's fine. I don't see anybody using it. It's a poison puppeteer, or for its ability as poison puppeteer. Poison Pokemon also become confused. Sure, that's fine, I guess. So your primary thing is going to be, poison whatever you can. However, you can't poison everything. You have, what was it? Salandit's evolution. I can't remember what it's called, but its ability allows it to poison literally any Pokemon, including types that are usually immune, like steel types, to poison. But it's a poison ghost, so immune to normal and fighting. Cool. And it plays into the special moveset and more of a setup type Pokemon, which, sure, doesn't have a shiny yet, so no one knows what the shiny looks like. Actually, I'm curious. Let's see. Let's see if a shiny shows up for it. If this is its actual shiny, that's awful. That's so awful if that's it, because it's just solid gold again. So, and you might have noticed that Ogerpon and the Terra Turtle. I can't remember his name, unfortunately. Those guys are legendaries. So why? I don't know. I feel like they're more mythical than this thing. And the entire story that's around Pecharunt is ridiculous because it just flings Mochi at people. And then they get possessed. And then you fight him and you catch him. And you can literally kill him. And then not catch him. Which I see as something being entirely ridiculous. So for this one, D. Like, it is... I think it's one of the most egregious mythical Pokemon. So with that, this is the tier list that I have for oh, oops, nope, I didn't mean to move that. There we go. So this is the tiers for mythical Pokemon based upon how they are in, or like the actual mythology that's sitting behind it, the stats, the shiny, everything that makes a mythical Pokemon a mythical Pokemon. S tier, we have Mew, Jirachi, Arceus or Arceus, however you want to pronounce it. I'll say either. Victini, Hoopa Unbound, Hoopa Confined, and Marshadow. We have A tier with Darkrai, Celebi, Deoxys, Speed, Shaman in both forms, Genesect, Zeraora, Magearna. In B tier, we have Deoxys normal form, Manaphy, Phione, Diancie, both the regular and Mega. In C tier, we have the defense and attack forms for Deoxys, the Caldea, both forms, or Caldeo, sorry, and then the Meloetta Pirouette form. Next, we have Zarude, finishing out C tier. And then lastly, in D tier, we have Volcanion, Meloetta Aria form, Pecharunt, and then the Melmetals. So, YouTube, if you're watching, thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great day.